Hello everybody, happy Thursday. No mixing and mastering tutorial right now. That's gonna come up tomorrow with the Sound Toys and Goodhertz and You Belong, and it's gonna be awesome. Anyway, but right now, there's a quick little tidbit that I wanted to share with you. For those of you who know me, I like A/Bing constantly, and I like A/Bing when I don't have to use volume control and continuously check, because if something is louder, it's gonna sound a little bit nicer to you, and that's just annoying. So, specifically when it comes down to limiters, generally speaking, I like smacking any compressor or limiter just to see what it's going to do with the audio, and then I know what it's going to add into it if I smack it a little bit too much. And that's annoying because when you smack a limiter, it just gets obnoxiously loud. So, for instance, I have a drum track here. And if I put the gain up, it gets quite significantly louder, and I won't be able to hear how much this is going to really change the sound. So I have to keep on going like that. And then you're just like, okay, is that distortion added, or is that just volume? Was that distortion already in there or not? What's going on? So that's annoying. So, and then I have to continuously do volume. It's just blech. But then I thought to myself, why not just make a button that does everything for you? So that's what I did, and that's what you guys are going to be joining me with today. So come and get your nerd on, and then it should be fun. So I made this button called the Gain Added Control. It's a pretty cool name. So I got that button, and what it does is when I turn this up, we have a limiter that's turning up, and we have a utility that's turning down at the same time. And then after that, I have a gain increase again. The reason for that is because if I turn it up and I turn down the minus 24 dB, we're going to have a minus 24 dB at the master. All right, so let's have a listen. So now I can crank it up and listen to what it's doing, but unfortunately, we also have almost no volume anymore. So then I played this by ear, and I put the volume up just via listening to it and thinking, okay, well, if I put this up fully, then I need about 14 dB-ish to put it back to normal. So now, the nice thing is, I can specifically hear what this specific limiter from Ableton Live is doing. It's really reacting to the low end. If I change the look ahead, it's going to also start smacking down on the snare a lot. If I start changing the release time and I make it even faster, I'm going to get more distortion in the low end and the top end. So that's really nice to have. So for me, it's just a stupid little way of listening and to check how is this going to change my sound, and how many dBs of gain reduction can I get away with without destroying the sound too much. All right, so that's the first one. And then I was thinking, wait a minute. Ozone 8 has the same issue, but with Ozone 8, what happens if you have a little button, right? So in Ozone 8, there's a little ear, and the little ear is supposed to give you the A/B version as well. So you have a gain match button. Oh, it's not a little ear anymore, it's a gain match. And when you push into the maximizer and you go on bypass with the gain match on, you will, at the end of it, clip like the living crap. So it's just going to sound like even more crap. See? So then this thing is clipping, and it's just like, so it's really not working, and I can't hear what it's doing. So let's just go into the Ozone 8 version. And what I did here was the same thing. So I got the Ozone imager, the Ozone maximizer. I took the threshold knob and I put it to macro knob number 1. So when it goes down to minus 20 at max, then this goes down minus 20 as well. And I played this by ear again to see how much gain reduction is really happening. Well, about 9 dB, fine. And then it's not about exact numbers here. It's more about listening to what is this maximizer or this limiter really doing. Now, the cool thing with Ozone 8 is there's different modes. So now what you can do is you smack it. And you can say, okay, this Intelligence Release Control 3, how does it sound with the new Intelligence Release Control LL? This almost has no top end and is focusing a lot on the low. And this one has a lot of top. So if I would have to do limiting on a track and there's not that much top end, I'm going to obviously use the Intelligent Release Control 3, for instance. Or let's try this out. Let's try out the transient version. Let's see how many transients are still there. Wow. That's really impressive. So, you know, like, so for me, this is like a perfect way of not having to constantly change my volume and not to be tricked by if I put the volume up, then, you know, I think it's better. So now you can smack into it and not be too worried about, you know, your speakers blowing up. Now, how do you make this? So let's do this together. I'm going to turn that off. You get yourself a limiter. It doesn't really matter which one, but I'm just going to use the maximizer for right now. You're going to get yourself a limiter. You plop it in there, and you get yourself a utility. Plop that in there after that. Stuff off. And you press group, so Command G and put that in. So now you have one effect rack. All right. And you go to the little button. So now there's a button area, and we're going to put this to map to macro number 1. All right, that's 1. We're going to open this up, and we're going to wiggle this around. And we're going to open this up as well. So wiggle it, wiggle it, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. So we know that it's the max threshold here. I'm going to click on map again. Right click and map to macro knob number 1 again. All right, great. Now in this map, this changes around. What we have to do is click this to 1. And we have minus 20 dB of gain reduction. So what we do here is minus 20. Here it's 0. All right. And now if I smack down, there is a, as you can see, the utility goes down as well. Now for the last part, you have to play this by ear. You get another utility, drop it behind, and click on map to macro number 1 again. Click on map, and then kind of have to do this by ear, but for me it's about 9 dB. And what you do is, normally if you play it by ear, you just kind of go like this. If I smack it down all the way, what's the volume difference between the two? So let's just ungroup that. All right. And then you just kind of go like this. Okay, it's probably around 8 dB. Does that sound about right? Let's just say that. And you go back down. Not really sure. So about minus 9. So you just kind of do that, or 9 dB. So you just kind of do that with your ear and just kind of figure out how much gain is added overall again to kind of keep it the same level. For the other one, so just to show you if you want to have a cheat code map, this is what it looks like. Okay, for the Ozone 8 version. And for the limiter version, it looks like this. Map like that. Okay, and then you can see what they sound like. And if every company was as awesome as FabFilter, then we wouldn't have this issue. But I like having this, and it's just a little thing. And you can use this for any plugin that adds way too many dBs. So you just put a little utility behind it. For every dB that's added, you put it down. And if that is, you know, really putting down way too many dBs, you put another utility behind it and play it by ear. That's it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a bass tutorial on You Belongs track. Cheers. Bye-bye.